just a hack. He's just an absolute hack. And he gets his ass kicked by his teammates every week. It's just, it's terrible. It's just terrible.
3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to Hack City. Joe DeLeone and Sean Anderson, two former college football players from the University of Rhode Island. Today we've got our Week 5 slate for FCS football action. We're going to be talking about North Dakota versus South Dakota State. We've got Idaho, EWU, Eastern Washington, all that coming up and more. Sean, before we get into it, can you just share with our listeners really quickly a word from our friends over at BetOnline?
No, right into it. Why not?
Yeah, God forbid I try to stay on time and on a consistent
Football's
good pace
back, and BetOnline is your number one information source
information
for all your sports wagering. With all the up-to-minute stats, news, scores, and matchup breakdowns. Get the latest game odds, spreads, and totals from the NFL and college football at your fingertips with BetOnline's real-time updates on statistics, news, and odds. From Week 1 all the way to the college football playoff and Super Bowl, BetOnline gives you access to the best football promotions and contests available anywhere online. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BLEAV, B-L-E-A-V, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Look how fast I did it. Joe's still not even off his phone. Holy hell, what a professional.
I wasn't ready for the phone break. You normally really just lag through that thing. So
I thought I was going to be able to catch you with your pants down, and I did.
Well, I actually am not wearing pants right now. I came back right from the gym to sitting down to recording.
So just real quick.
I'm wearing compression shorts. Nobody can see what I'm wearing underneath this. So why does it matter?
Oh, okay. I'm cool. First of all, I'll let you know I'm cool with it. I don't care.
How many times have you done a show in your underwear?
Never.
On this show. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Why? Am I notably nude? Am I Mr. Naked?
Yes, you used to walk into my room
I'm
in
Mr.
your
Naked.
underwear.
That's what you're calling me.
You used to walk into my room in your underwear. How does that work?
I don't recall that.
All the time. You used to do it once a week. You used to walk, again, what it takes for you to walk from your room into my room in your underwear. Do you understand? You had this weird thing that you kept trying to establish dominance by coming into my room, doing weird shit like that, and using my toilet.
What do you mean in my room? Okay, the toilet was a dominance thing. Okay, that was. But me in the underwear, that was just strictly comfort, I think, or laziness.
I guess.
It was not. You thought I was trying to establish dominance by walking around in my underwear.
Well, not so much like really establish dominance, but like
I wanted a cookie. That's why I was going up there.
Yeah, exactly. God. All right, let's talk about these games. That was the weirdest.
You have the worst compression shorts. Also, I mean, they're terrible.
I don't care.
They're bad.
Go screw. All right, North Dakota versus South Dakota State. This game's a little weird for me, Sean, because on paper, it looks like, wow, this is a ranked-on-ranked matchup, but North Dakota hasn't really played anybody. They played Boise State. They played Drake. I don't know how much I'm really going to get excited about some of these games that they've had so far for me to buy into them, and that's why I've been a little slow to rank them high on my ballot so far this season. They're coming in this game. They've got the 17th best passing offense in the country, which is very notable. Tommy Schuster has been phenomenal for them.
Yeah.
Bo Belquist has as well been a very hard player to keep up with. But who are they going against? Because I'm telling you right now, South Dakota State is just looking to bulldoze through anybody. They are the wagon of FCS football.
North Dakota's interesting. Their biggest win. I mean, Drake has just been. I feel bad for them. They have got dealt a pretty rough. They've got dealt a rough hand so far this season. Maybe play better, but at the same time, bit of a rough hand. But North Dakota beat Northern Arizona by 15 points, which is pretty good. Tommy Schuster is the man there. He is good. He is a very good, capable quarterback. And he's kind of in that, like, he's bolstering North Dakota for me. North Dakota's stock on my ballot is because of him. Similar, I'm not saying they're similar quarterbacks or even of the same level, but similarly with you and I, how I treat them. They get bolstered because I know they have a good quarterback. So that's just where my thought process goes with it. And if you do have a good quarterback, that's very important. The problem is South Dakota State has a very good quarterback. Mark Gronowski is a dude. He is efficient. He doesn't get ahead of himself. And I'm not saying Schuster does that, but within that system and with that offensive line and running backs and weapons, it could be a long day of getting worn out by them. It could be a long day. In North Dakota, they play hard, and they're tired of being little brother in their state, but what are they going to do? I think even if they beat South Dakota State this week, they're still a little brother. It's going to be very hard to string off 8 straight championships. Very hard. So just live with it. Enjoy your upsets. Enjoy being ranked, because you're going to continue to be ranked because you're well built. But this week could get ugly fast.
Yeah, I think that, again, this is a very deceptive game. And North Dakota fans, if you're getting upset at us picking you guys apart, it's not that we don't think that North Dakota is good, and I think that they're going to go on to have some quality wins that's going to put them as rankable, highly rankable. They're probably going to be a playoff team because they've shown us some good things. But again, talk about like a first opportunity to prove yourself. It's not like this is versus SIU to show everybody who you are. It's you're going up against a team that has a top 5 defense, if not a top 2 defense. I'm going to go as far as say that. Not remove the statistics. South Dakota State has had the 10th best passing offense, the 25th best run defense. I don't know where that averages out in total defense. I didn't write that down. But if we're just looking at the entire grouping of how they don't do the math, please don't do the math. I don't need to keep looking at you.
Like 17 and a half.
That's not how the averaging out works, because you have to take the total of yards allowed running the ball and yards allowed passing the ball and then figure out where they rank. So that number is completely useless and arbitrary. Never do math on this show.
How about
please.
you do the math then?
How
about you do the math?
I chose not to. I didn't do
Johnny
the math.
Anaheim, shut up. Glasses.
God.
You do the math.
Look, the point I'm trying to get at here is that you don't even need South Dakota State to show up offensively, because they are so freaking deep defensively. They're so aggressive and dominant defensively. The way that they completely close down Montana State is proof of that. Tommy Schuster's got to go off, man. You know, they really got to stretch the field. Is a combo of a quarterback and a receiver enough to work past such a dominant secondary? I don't think it is. I think that this is a clear-cut, guaranteed victory for South Dakota State. Another notch in the belt. Another time saying, we're the best team in the country. Don't even think twice. Wagon. I
agree. What happens what happens to North Dakota if and when they do lose this game? I know it depends on how.
It's a good question.
If they keep it tight, obviously stock would probably rise. And I'm thinking about polls because I have them like kind of top of that middle bubble for me on my ballot. They've been consistent. They've been solid. If they get blown out, how far do you drop them? Or do you just say wagon SDSU? Or do you say, okay, tough loss, I still see the potential there, and they can hang around? Like, where do you see them placing given a big loss or a close loss?
Over 20 points, I'd probably move them to the back end of the 20s. So they'd probably be like in that 20 range, depending on what else happens. Maybe I'd put Montana ahead of them. God, you can't even say that these days.
Don't even joke about that, dude. Don't even joke about it. I can't.
If it's within 20 points, I'm keeping them where they are. I forget off the top of my head. Let me actually check where I have them right now. I don't. My memory is not good enough.
I got them at 13 right now. I think if they have a bad loss, they could get into the 20s. Tight loss. I always told myself if I got a ballot, I didn't like it when teams lost and then either moved up or stayed the same.
I have them at 13.
Montana State was an exception this year. I think if they have a close loss, I would put them in the mid-teens.
Lose by less than 10, you stay where you are. Lose by less than 20, you move back a couple spots. If you lose by more than 20, I'm moving you around where Weber and UC Davis are, maybe a little bit further. Because, just because you get smoked by South Dakota State does not mean you're a bad team. South Dakota State's just that good.
Yeah,
that's the reality of it.
Fair. I think that's a good system used for this specific matchup.
Idaho versus Eastern Washington. This is, Idaho's got a tough stretch here. They have been thrown a difficult stretch. You will also, and this is a clash of two teams that are riding a ton of momentum. As we know, I'm a big Giovanni McCoy, Idaho fan right now with the way that they have been playing, and I think that they're how dangerous they are offensively and throwing the ball with Hayden Hatton and some of those other receivers. They are hard to keep up with. I think that EWU, what concerns me coming into this matchup is that it feels like they've been grinding games out, but scraping by in a way. And I think that that stuff is fine. It's a testament to fortitude to win close games, but that stuff is not sustainable when you play a top 5 team. And when you have the 110th worst rushing defense in all of FCS,
Yeah.
I have some concerns. That is a really ugly, ugly stat line. I think that Anthony Woods and Giovanni McCoy need to be a major leg of this rushing offense. And there's just this offense in general. Just run the ball because you're going to be able to run through them like Swiss cheese. And the converse of that is like you got to nut up. You got to play better, sound run defense because you're getting gouged by everybody that you faced so far.
Yeah, Idaho last week was pretty good on all the facets of the run game. Anthony Woods put up 117 versus Sac State, legit opponent, legit roster, and they held Marcus Fulcher at 44 yards, 4.4 yards a carry. I don't love yards per carry over 4, but if you're holding them a running back to 44 yards, I'll take it. I will take that all day, every day. I think Justice Jackson is one of those dudes, though, for Eastern Washington that doesn't care what the defense is doing. I think he runs angry, but and disciplined. He runs within himself. Balanced runner, strong, sees the field well. So Idaho, that's the guy you got to key off on, because Vesperis, all right, we can figure that out. He's not going to be perfect, and we know that, but we know what their bread and butter is: leaning on the big fella, leaning on Jackson, making sure that he's going to be the one moving the chains. So that he should be the focal point for Idaho's defense this week.
Idaho's secondary has been in the top 15 range this year. They have been really, really quietly good. I think we're so focused on McCoy that we don't talk about that secondary. So as you mentioned, Vesperis is going to be challenged. Is Justice Jackson that type of guy that you give him 25 carries, you slow the game down, you grind him out? Can he be that guy? I think that he's shown us some bits and pieces of that he's just an aggressive, hard runner. But like, he's got to have a Walter Payton type game in this, man. It is going to be so important to just run so freaking well. Like, you got to put up a lot of rushing production because it could be a long day trying to throw the ball.
Yeah, and the Eastern Washington offensive line, they are, God, I think they're heavy. They're a heavy line. So if they can get some forward momentum going, it could be a little bit scary for Idaho. I'm not gonna. And I said it last show on the recap. Eastern Washington right now is good. They are a good team. At the end of the season, they're going through a tough ass stretch. The Big Sky is just heavyweights in the Big Sky right now. There's no denying it. So going through this stretch right now, I'm comfortable saying Eastern Washington could cause some problems. I don't know what their record's going to be. I'm not going to sit here and predict, oh, they could be an 8-win team or they could be a 4-win team. Either way, they could go either way this year. So get the big fellas up front ready, locked and loaded to go. Have Justice Jackson ready to go. Keep them fresh, and then maybe we can create some noise.
All right, let's wrap here with FC estimates. Starting us off, Morgan State versus Yale. Sean, who you got?
I'm going with Morgan State.
I'm going to take Yale in this one, like that O-line, as we all know. South Dakota versus North Dakota State.
North Dakota State.
I'm going to take North Dakota State as well. And then we've got the wife swap going on here. North Dakota versus South Dakota State. Who you got?
I hate it. South Dakota State. I'm just going to glaze past that.
Y'all know how I feel. South Dakota State. Idaho versus EWU.
I'll take Idaho. It's really hard. It's really hard to bet against them.
Idaho.
Huge win.
I'm taking Idaho as well. William and Mary versus Elon.
William and Mary.
Give me William and Mary as well. Youngstown versus Northern Iowa.
Give me the Penguins.
Soft ass mascot. Give me UNI. Towson versus UNH.
Nope, not going to take Towson. I will go with UNH. Not going to do that.
Give me as well. Missouri.
What is wrong with you? You are a sick bastard. You've got a sickness in you, brother. I've never in my life heard some sickness like that.
I don't know how I've gone this long without doing that. That never dawned on me to say that.
Who does that, man? Are you okay? Who does that?
It's week 5. It's gonna be a long season. I could have done that for you and I also.
You suck.
Missouri State SIU.
I'm going with SIU.
What's the
Tread
phonetic?
lightly. Tread lightly, brother.
What's the phonetic pronunciation of SIU?
Suey.
UC Davis versus Cal Poly.
UC Davis to win.
I'm gonna take UC Davis as well, and then EKU versus NAU.
Give me EKU. Which is crazy. I probably should take NAU. They've been fine.
I'm gonna take NAU.
That's gonna be a good game.
Might be. All right. Any final thoughts before we wrap here?
No, you've killed me. You have. I don't even want to talk about the dog farting on the plane. I don't even want to.
At Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio. Prayers up.
Yeah.
Drive safe.